Hi friends, my name is Al or Lilstarnerd, and welcome to today's episode of the most wonderful time of the year. First of all, I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy End of the Year, Happy New Year, Happy whatever you celebrate, whether you celebrate nothing at all. I hope you're having a great day, a great end of your year. It just so happens that I have a sketchbook tour to give to you on Christmas Day. So, Merry Christmas! Most requested video of all time. Literally stop requesting them. I can only make them when I finish them, okay? I can't do anything about that. So, we have the last video of the year, sketchbook tour. I'm really excited. This is a Massery sketchbook. No, it's not. It's literally not. Okay. So, sketchbook tour. Last video of the year, sketchbook tour. I'm really excited, really happy, mostly happy with this sketchbook. This is a Strathmore Mixed Media Series 500. Listen, look into my eyes. Like, I want like close cut, like close zoom, okay? In my eyes. I wanted big letters on the frame, take up the entire frame. Strathmore Mixed Media Series 500. Strathmore, it's a Strathmore sketchbook. It's a Strathmore, this sketchbook, it's a Strathmore sketchbook. It's gonna be linked in the description. Strathmore Mixed Media Series 500, okay? If I get a single comment asking what sketchbook this is,
I will cry myself to sleep.
Anyways, I started this sketchbook back in May of 2021, and I'm finishing it on December, I think it's the 8th of 2021. So that's about 7 months, almost exactly 7 months, which is pretty standard for these sketchbooks. By the way, this Strathmore Mixed Media sketchbook is my favorite sketchbook. I've had, I think, 2 before this one. My next one I already have lined up is gonna be this same sketchbook. Yeah, it's jam-packed full of goodies, baddies, in-betweenies, and I'm gonna walk you through it. This tour is gonna be a bit less in-depth than my previous ones have been, and that is because in-depth sketchbook tours are now a patron reward. So if you're at my $20 tier on Patreon, you get quarterly, very in-depth sketchbook tours where I walk you through, you know, what I've done in that past, like, for 3 months. I can do math. So if you want to know, like, way more in depth about this sketchbook, or at least parts of the sketchbook, you can go to my Patreon and find that. That's going to be up this month. So this one's going to be a little bit less in depth. Only the things that I think really need some explaining will be explained. So should be faster, should be more streamlined. So let's go. No more stalling. The time has come. Okay. Okay, so here's a sketchbook. I'll point out the stickers that I remember. Unfortunately, I used to be really good at stickers, but there's some that I just haven't fully kept track. These are my own. These are Harry Potter ones. This is a Minion, like, these are for my friend Hannah, like a Minion one, and I think like a Peppa Pig or something like that. She sends me, we are like our pen pals, and she sends me dumb stickers for that her kid has. Probably some are hers, but Chris Hong, my friend Darren, Sarah, Karina or Dream State on Instagram. This is a Free Palestine sticker. Everyone that I mentioned will be linked down below, so check them out. This was from, someone sent me something in my P.O. box, and I think there's another on the back. Yeah, this is the same thing, but I don't know if they made them or if it was from something. I don't know. This is a Winsor Newton sticker, Bob Ross, Dinosaurs, Poems About You, my own sticker, and then a Ron John Surf Shop. So those are all my stickers. Inside, I have my own sticker. This is my Ka-Chow sticker. These are still available. This and this are still available. Promo. You can check out my shop when it opens back up. But here's my first page. This was a self-portrait, obviously. That was a redo of a first failed attempt, redid it here. And I like the way it turned out. I like these colors. The picture of, like, not me, but the picture that I use, I really like it, but it is a really derpy picture of myself. But I very rarely take selfies, so like I use it all the time for things, and it's not a flattering photo, so I should really get a new one, but whatever. Not much here. I have some, oh my gosh, what are they called? Fortune cookies, fortunes. Just, here's the original raccoon of this sticker. Here he is. And then here is a color pencil of Harry and Ron. Yeah, this is a reference from Pinterest. I'm sure you guys can recognize the picture. This is a book. It's getting like really messy, but that's fine. I really don't care. It's in a sketchbook. But this is a Klimt Remake I really liked this Klimt piece that I had in a book, and I redid it with gouache, and here it is. I really, really love this part especially. It makes me sad to see it like get ruined, but you know, it's a sketchbook. I don't expect it to stay perfect forever. Here is a page of random like references. I think it was like a website that generates faces and you have to do it in a certain amount of time. This was just kind of trying to emulate old sketchbooks because I really wanted to have a good sketchbook, and so that's why I'm using like highlighter and stuff. It's not a pretty page, but it was fun to do. I really like this one. Here is some women from a reference that I gave up on. Here's a cowboy, here's Orville Peck with a little rainbow. Ain't no glory, but for the fair sex. I love that song. Obviously, those are not the actual lyrics. Don't correct me if you're gonna be like, that's not there. I know. It was just kind of the way it was in my head. Like I had that line stuck in my head in that way, so I wrote it down. Alphonse Mucha. I'm assuming, I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. This is with gouache. I really, really like the way this turned out. Oh, what is peeking through? Oh no. Oh well. Yeah. I love the hair right here. I love doing like dangly hair like that. Here are some attempts at Yennefer of Vengerberg, except for the fact that I am not good at drawing from imagination, so I, didn't work out. Someone else drawing in my sketchbook. Here is a patron exclusive live stream I did. Oh, was it? No, that's something else. This is just a watercolor. This is just a watercolor thing that I did, and I love the door. I think it looks like gouache. I have like the oval prong palette. The white works literally like a gouache, and it's so fun to use. It has a pretty weird texture. Like, it's really shiny and glossy, but look at that. Like, come on, it looks pretty. Here is the first attempt way back in the day. Not really that far back, but I did a collab with Visual Mind Art or Melanie on YouTube and Instagram, where we each created a character. So here was my character that I created for a collab. And she has turned into a character that I absolutely adore and use a lot. This was just a spread that I was trying to do. It started with this. I actually really like the way this turned out. This was from imagination. I was really proud of that. Then I did some sharks and some stingrays. Stingrays are so funny to draw. So are hammerheads. I was having a lot of fun doing these. And then a very colorful girl. And my patron suggested to fill this empty space over here with smiley faces, so I did. And here's where I taped in the business card that came from this, but it kept falling out, so it is gone. Here is more work on this collab, and here's my final thumbnail before I did the final piece. Not much to see here. Here is a really just messy page. A lot of swatching. I got Prismacolor markers for $1 at Michael's. They were on sale, on clearance. And I got them all, tested them out, doodled with them. Got some other like markers that I was testing. Watercolor painting. Yeah, nothing special here. I got some like acrylic paint markers, and I tried to do a piece here. Unfortunately, I love this sketchbook, but the one thing that it can't handle is these markers. It rips up the paper. There's all these like little crumbs here. You can see that. And it just rips up the paper as you're drawing. So I really couldn't. I had this cool idea of like these colors, and I wanted to do this thing, and then it didn't work at all. So I was frustrated. Here is a piece that I ended up doing it digitally, but I think I was gonna do it with like paint. So here was me, or markers, I guess. And I was planning out this piece. I really love like prepping for stuff now. Like, this is more fun than doing the actual piece. They always turn out so pretty. This is the patron live stream thing that I did. It's not as good, but you can tell what it is. I like the storybook quality. And then here's just a fun little page. This is a frog plushie that my grandma has that I drew. And some faces, a wort, a classic Tumblr quote. This I hate. It was supposed to be really cool, and then this is what it turned out as, and I'm not going to talk about it. I don't like it. But that's what it looks like. We don't need to talk about it. And then over here is, I think mostly this is covering a really shitty live stream that me and Sarah did together where I was doodling stuff like this the whole time, and so I covered it with better stuff. I love these two. This is from an old video where I was trying to do like pretty gouache stuff, like Studio Ghibli inspired. I don't like the way they turned out. You can tell there's a lot of marker bleed through here, but yeah, they're just here. It's just a spread. It is what it is. They can't all be winners, you know? This is a spread. This is probably one of the better spreads in the sketchbook that feels like my old sketchbooks that I liked. It has that fun, like colorful quality, collage-esque type stuff going on that I really miss from my old sketchbooks. A lot of OC stuff. We've got some Sally. I think there's a crow in this, but no, there's not. Some Taco, some Steve and Bucky, my characters, Frank Sinatra, my Gorgon Knight lady. I like that sketch. I like this frog. Just some doodles. That I don't do this kind of stuff anymore, and I really want to, but it's for some reason hard to do. This used to be the only thing that I did, and now I can't do it. But I really like the way it looks, even though it's not at all cohesive. It's still very fun. I also love this color. Here is a gouache painting that I thought was going to be a lot more graphic than it ended up being. I don't dislike it. It's just not anything special. It's just like it is. It is what it is. Again, a lot of that happening in the sketchbook. But yeah. Here are some attempts at Jeremy Renner. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you might not know that I have a thing about Jeremy Renner. Hating on Jeremy Renner is my absolute all-time favorite hobby. I love making fun of Jeremy Renner. I don't like Jeremy Renner at all. And I dislike him so much that I've circled around to being his #1 biggest fan. I currently have part of our Christmas decorations. He's in a lot of Christmas frames that are up in our house right now. And we have a little corner where we have like fake tea candles, you know, around his photo. It's a little seance, a little shrine for Jeremy Renner. But yeah, these are some sketches of Jeremy Renner. I think he's so ugly, and I don't like him. And so I drew him, of course. Here's just some pen doodles. I got recently, like within this sketchbook, I really got into like ballpoint pen doodles. I really like this one. That's a quick little gouache sketch. This is a redo of a doodle I used to love. I liked the old one better, but that's fine. Here is I think this was during the time where I was really taking a break from art. This is the page that I did in the middle of that break, where I was just doing stuff that was easy and fun for me, and this is very, very self-indulgent. It is, you know, me in the Harry Potter world as a Slytherin, and it's just me doing fun stuff and making myself pretty, and that's it. And I actually really like the way these turned out, but that's what that is. I hate this. I was so excited for it, and I hate it so much, so we're just not going to talk about it. Stuff that I've taped in from my trash sketchbook. I keep another sketchbook, and when I do something in it that is good, I cut it out and put it in here. And it helps me fill up sketchbooks faster. And then here is a watercolor thing that I did also during this time of like not doing art. And it was just a doodle at first that I ended up loving so much, I ended up doing a watercolor piece with it. And I think it's one of the best things I've ever done with watercolor. I'm really, really happy with this. My Gorgon Knight. Here is a Lord of the Flies piece of art, fan art, I guess. I love Lord of the Flies. Unironically, I love Lord of the Flies, and every so often I like to draw art for it. Especially this pose from the movie. Love it. It's so good. But yeah, Lord of the Flies. More pen stuff. I think I was trying to figure out, I think I had a project that I needed to do a painting. I don't know what it was, but I was trying to figure out, I was thumbnailing for paintings, and this is when oh my gosh. This must be a page that I came back to a lot, because this is really not chronological. This is my own painting idea that I came up with that I'm gonna eventually do, but I really like the way that looks. Here's some Mortys that got taped in. La Belle Dame Sans Merci and Fisherman and the Siren. This was a quote that was just stuck in my head. You're no fun when you're your own worst enemy, which is just a bit of a vent piece about it's difficult to maintain friendships with people who only ever like want to bring themselves and you down. And so that's what this is about. This is Doodles, clearly. A lot of brush tip doodles. Anus? Not in this Christian household. I'll burn down your house. Renner, clear and Amar. Just doodles. I adore this. Listen, I went through a little Rick and Morty kick recently, and I did a lot of art for them. And don't even try to tell me that this is not adorable. I'm obsessed with this. And then over here, something that definitely does not match aesthetics. I pulled out my old Touch Twin markers and wanted to do something like my old art, so I did this stuff, and I actually really like it. It definitely reminds me of my old sketchbooks, although I didn't finish the spread, clearly. This is an old Arteza thing that I did, and I was giving away the sketchbook that this was in, but I liked this, so I just ripped out the pages and taped it in here. Thumbnailing. Here's a banana in skinny jeans. This is a quote from The Bluest Eye, and then here's a boy from Pinterest, Nandor. Lots of scribblies. Here's where I was really trying to work on this character. Her name is Cassie. And like who she is and her little, she's gonna have like a little page boy or squire that's working on him. This is the only good drawing of Geralt I've ever done in my entire life. Oh, by the way, this is based off Jaskier. But yeah, that is my only good drawing of Geralt. It will never get better than that. Here's solidifying this boy. I think I'm gonna name him Barney, I think. Barnabas or Barney. I love this one. Harry. Some thumbnailing for a painting idea I had. Here's a little house. I wanted to do the whole, I love yellow lighting, blue shadows, and I wanted to show, like, you know, when houses are lit up. I had gone on a walk at night and saw, you know, houses with yellow windows, and I wanted to draw that. So I drew that. Here's a very rough, like sketchy marker portrait. And the rest of this stuff is playing with inks that Winsor & Newton sent me. I'm sure, well, I'm not sure. I have a video testing, like doing an ink piece. I'm just obsessed with these colors and swatching them. Very recently, I've been obsessed with just swatching things, just looking at colors. It brings a lot of joy. Here was planning for my recent emoji video. Neville. A pen doodle, a really ugly version of Cassie, Ginny and Luna, which I did on my recent live stream. Here's a spread that I really like. Hopefully the camera picks it up because this is a neon color and it really messes with cameras. It tends to wash like everything out and make everything look janky. But I really love this spread. This is Venus. This is, okay, I don't remember the painting, but it's in St. Petersburg Fine Art Museum. So this is Aphrodite's torso. It's a statue. These are just, I went there for my birthday. I took pictures, drew them. This is my dog. I'm obsessed with this picture of my dog, or with this drawing of my dog. I think I've been really liking colored pencils and especially the texture that they have. So I really like this. This says, if anyone does not believe in Venus, they should gaze at my girlfriend, which is that Pompeii graffiti. This is a little quote that I had. You know when you just get words stuck in your head? Sometimes they're from things, sometimes they're not. This is just one that I like had in my head. I'm no Helen, but I think I deserve a war. So there we go. Here's a bird. This doesn't match. I don't like that. Don't look at that. Here's some gouache stuff. This is the view outside of our like office room window. And it's like this bright cerulean sky with like these very vivid green palm trees. And I have, for the entire time that I've lived in this house, like the past 2-3 years, I think 3 years, I've been staring out that window and being like, I need to paint this view. And I finally did it, and I'm obsessed. Here is a picture of a very pretty plant at the Sunken Gardens that I recently went to. And here is just a random gouache. This is all gouache, but here's just a random piece that I did because I wanted to use these colors. It's not what I wanted. I'm working on trying to make the things that I see in my head, but I'm not very good at that. I'm not very good at translating the things that I see in my head onto paper, especially something abstract. But it could have been a lot worse, so I'm pretty happy with it. Here is, this is usually almost in all of my sketchbooks, where I have my sister just draw shapes for me, and then I make something out of them. There's some that I like. This is not as good. I've done way better ones in the past, but some of this is really, really hard. I like this guy. I like this. There's always got to be a good butt in there. I think this is a good, like, character-looking thing. I like the concept of this. Oh, I love this tiger. That's what it is. I'm obsessed with this tiger. I think I want to kind of make a sticker or something out of him because I love him. He's great. This is, I don't know what it's from, but Tom Hiddleston is in some play, I'm assuming. And there's like all these pictures on Pinterest of like the two characters like kissing, and it's the epitome of yearning. And so I really wanted to paint it, and so I got ready to paint it, and then I was like, and I had to wait a few days to actually paint it. And by the time I had time to paint it, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So it will remain like this, unpainted forever. And then here is a portrait. I realized that in this, one thing that I don't have in this sketchbook is just like a portrait, like taking up the entire page, except for, I guess, this one. And that's usually something that's always in my sketchbooks, except for this one. So especially, like, there's almost always a colored pencil one. So I did a colored pencil one. This was with the Winsor & Newton color pencil set that they sent me. And yeah, it's okay. I didn't try, it wasn't meant to be a high effort one. Like, I was pretty much scribbling, so it's fine. I like it. It's the purpose. It's okay. Well, we can give up on that word, that sentence. That's fine. Here's a painting I recently did, a watercolor painting. And I just slapped it in here on some construction paper, put some tape in there. The indigo taste of winter. Yeah, there's not much more to say about that. And then here is just where I slapped some stuff in, Winsor & Newton stuff, the characters that I was talking about earlier. I actually really like the way this looks. And then the final spread, which was in last week's video. These bad boys. This is Harvey, my OC, Brady, my OC. Saying OC is so embarrassing. Here's just a girl, here's some girls, and here's a Teletubby man. This quote is from The Yellow Wallpaper that I read somewhat recently and absolutely adored. That's about it. In the back here, I just have a kind of handmade envelope full of, I think, business cards and things that just didn't have space on my wall anymore, but I didn't want to get rid of. I also kept my promotional letters from Winsor & Newton because they were the closest to like a PR package that I've ever gotten. It just has my name on the top. It's not special, but I wanted to keep it, so I did. And there we go. That is the tour of my final 2021 sketchbook. I hope you enjoyed. This will be added to a playlist of all of my sketchbook tours. You can check them out if that's your thing. But yeah, don't leave this in. I'm thinking of what I'm going to say. Cut all this out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I had a great time taking you through it. If you want to see something more in depth about the sketchbook, like I said, check out my Patreon. Check out all my stuff down in the description. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that nonsense. I hope you have a great day. I hope you're ready for the new year. Go water your plants, go take your medications, and go do some art.